Okay. Awesome. So we're talking about vision and we're talking about visualization. So I basically just said that a man without a vision will perish. And if you guys think about it, if you don't know where you're going, if you have no clue where you're going, you're never going to get there. And I know that sounds really simple. And honestly, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is very simple. But the things that are simple to do are easy the things that are simple not to do, right? Even though it's like working out, even though we know how to lose weight, we know how to stay in shape, we know how to get fit, we need to do certain practices as well for our mindset. And this is going to be kind of tackling that mindset aspect of it. And so I really want you guys to think about how much do you use visualization in your daily practice? You guys know that I go to a ton of personal development stuff. I go to events, I listen to podcasts, I invest in a lot of things. And time after time after time, every single time I go to these events and I listen to these successful entrepreneurs and successful people, hands down, every single one of them, can you guess what they do? Every single one of them meditates and visualizes and does their affirmations. I don't know about you, but when I start seeing a common thread amongst anyone, in any industry that's successful, I truly believe success leaves clues. And so when I hear that they are meditating, and they practice gratitude every single day. So a lot of you guys know this, those of you who have listened, practicing that gratitude, being grateful in the morning for being able to wake up, right? To being able to wake up and see another day, because today is not guaranteed. At the end of the day, to do a recap of what has happened and be grateful for the good things and the challenges, right? And the challenges, and asking, what can I learn? And that was something I learned. I just came back from the Tony Robbins Leadership Conference, and that was one of the things that there was this guy who was there who was a Navy SEAL, phenomenal. I'm going to read his book next. I'll share it with you guys, the title. Phenomenal. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is he's preaching what I want to preach. But he says that every single night he does a recap of what he's grateful for, and he looks at all his challenges, and he always asks himself, what can I learn in this challenge? What was God trying to teach me today in this challenge? Can you imagine if you approached your challenges, all your challenges that way, guys? That would on a personal development, on an emotional maturity level, that will elevate you guys 2-3 times ahead of people that right? And so anyway, so I kind of wanted to talk about visualization, and then because this is what I hear other successful people doing. And I was like, I wonder if you guys are doing that, because I know I struggle with that. I know that I'm not waking up every single morning and writing down. It's a discipline, just like us working out, just like drinking our Shakeology, just like, doing our other personal development. It is a discipline to practice gratitude. It is a discipline to recite our affirmations in front of a mirror, exactly who we are, who we know we are, who we believe we are, every single morning, to ingrain that into our subconscious. That is a discipline. And if you're not doing that, if you don't start even thinking about it, I will tell you, you will not see the amount of success that you're going to want, and you're going to get, discouraged along the way. And so a man without a vision will perish. So understanding where you want to go, and really, for those of you that are married, especially, really speaking with your spouse and sitting down and coming up with your personal goals, even for your business, and sharing them with your spouse, and then coming up with your goals as a family unit. What are your goals together? That's going to be incredibly important, that communication, because you don't want to be visualizing something and your spouse is not even visualizing it, and they're thinking something else. So really taking the time, this is not just something you can do just for business sake. This is just for overall life fulfillment, and overall just really trying to capture the goals that you're trying to achieve. And so visualizing and believing in yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, in order to have success in business, you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in yourself. And a lot of times, many of us come into this where we need to work on our self-belief. And that's okay. But realize where you are in that kind of line, and realize if you're someone where, yeah, I believe in myself and I know what I need to do. Or if you're someone where you're just like, I still don't even know if I can do this. I still don't even know if I'm going to have success with this. You know, you have to look at yourself and ask yourself, where are you on that? Because if you believe that you don't know, that you're not going to have success, guess what? You're not going to have success. And if you believe that you are, if you have confidence, if you know you're going to crush it, it's like you're sending out that energy into the universe, and and everything is going to align. Even if you don't know the how, you know, you don't need to know the how. You just need to take action towards your goals. But if you're not visualizing where you're trying to go, you're never going to get there. And so that's why I want you guys, and I'm going to give you guys some steps as to, you know, just thinking about your visualization and really starting to take some action. Some of you have done them before in the form of vision boards, and these are things you should be constantly doing. And I hate to say it, and I'm sad to say, I was actually looking for a vision board, and I didn't do one for this year. And I was like really bummed at myself. And so like, I'm just kind of saying, I'm like, I need to do one at least for the rest of the year of what I want to focus on. I found the one from 2016. But it was just like, I didn't do one for this year. And so I need to do one, you know, for this year, for the rest of this year, of what I'm trying to achieve, you know, in the remainder of 2017. And so you have to know where you're going, and not necessarily how, but where. You know, you have to know where you're going. And I want to encourage you guys to really look at all aspects of your life, meaning, where do I want to go physically? You know, where do I want to go with my fitness? Where do I want to go with my body? How, you know, where do I want to take my body? Like, I know for me, I'm always pushing myself, and I'm like, I want to bring out the inner athlete within me. And that's something that's going to take time. And that's going to be something that's going to take lots and lots of repetition, lots of discipline. But that is a vision that I have for myself, where I see a badass athlete, you know, at the end of the road, who's like able to do these, like, you know, jump box things that can jump on these huge boxes that I can't even jump on, like a box that's like this high right now because I'm so terrified. But, you know, you have to have a vision for your body, your physical state. You have to have a vision for your personal growth, your mindset. You know, where do you want to go as a person? Are you someone that you're quick, you know, you get angry quickly? Are you someone that you snap back at people quickly? Are you someone that takes things personally and you don't want to be that way? Do you want, you know, I've always told myself, I want to work towards being a woman of grace. You know, and what does that look like for me? That's someone that is level-headed. That's someone that doesn't react harsh, you know, react quickly. They're very calm. They're very collect. You know, and so that is something that's going to take time. And that's something I've always told myself, you know, over the past several years. That's something that's a personal vision for myself. So for you, how do you see yourself, you know, in your personal development, in the way that you interact with people, in the way that you interact with your family? And I know that you're like, wow, these are all little things, but you have to think about all of these things. You know, where do you see yourself, visualizing where you see yourself with your business? Obviously, what are you trying to achieve for your business? Why are you trying to achieve that? You know, and make sure you're visualizing that and being very specific. And I'll talk more about that. But also having vision for your money, right? You have to have vision for your finances, for your money, because if you don't tell money where to go, guess what? It's going to come out your wallet, and you're not going to know where it's going if you're not mindful of where, and you don't have a plan for it. And this is something I've learned in reading wealth books and money principle books. It's like, you need to have a plan, and all of that requires vision. All of that requires, what is it that I'm trying to achieve with my money? Am I trying to be debt free? Am I trying to invest a certain amount? Am I trying to give a certain amount to charity? Am I trying to, am I trying to save up for a vacation, save up for a home? Make sure that you have a plan and a vision for that. And so those are just some ideas, but really, I want you guys to really look at your life as a whole and really take on this vision exercise in all areas of your life, and write it down and really put it somewhere where you're going to be able to see it every single day. So when it comes to creating a vision, number one is that you have to know exactly what you want. So be very specific, and there are different ways you can write it out in a list. And I would tell you guys to both write it out as well as create a visual vision board, something that you can either put on your phone, on your background of your phone. You can put it on the background of your laptop. You can actually cut out pictures and magazines. That's what my mom likes to do. Put it on a board and really put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. But really be specific about what you want. So I know in my 2016 vision board, it said that I wanted to be debt-free. And guess what? By the end, I think January 2017, I was debt-free, right? And it's like I wanted, I was like, I was curious to look. I mean, there were definitely things on there that I didn't achieve, but I'm closer to achieving them. You know what I mean? I'm closer to achieving them than where I was before. I had on there that I wanted to travel every single month. And guess what? That's exactly what I do with my life right now. I travel every single month. I'm doing something every single month. But I had different things. I wanted to be in a test group. That was part of my vision board. And I was in a test group. And so it works. And really being very specific about where you want, what you want. So write it out. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to write out what you want. And I want you to create a vision board for yourself if you haven't. And you can do virtual ones, meaning you can do ones on using Canva or using PicMonkey. And I will sometimes take snapshots from, I'll kind of go searching Pinterest, Google, looking for really pretty images that reflect what my goals are. And then I'll create like a collage-like image on Canva, on PicMonkey. So, and don't undermine this process. Like, don't say, I don't need to do this. Like, don't undermine this process. Again, success leaves clues. And so if I'm talking to, if I'm studying and we're studying from all these really successful people and this is what they're doing, there's something there. And a lot of it has to do with just really putting that image in your mind and really, starting to really ingrain it into your subconscious mind. So that's going to be number one, is going to be specific and write out and create a vision board. Number two, determine, and this is for you, and you can write this out in a journal, but determine what are you going to give, and you got to give, what are you going to give in return for these things, right? Start thinking like, okay, what am I going to have to do in order to achieve these things? What am I going to have to give? And what I mean by that is, are you going to give more time? Are you recognizing that, yes, I'm going to have to make space in my calendar to be able to achieve this goal, or I'm going to have to create a budget and work from a budget. If I want to go become debt free, I need to be more specific about where my money is going. Tangible things like, what are you going to need to do? What are the sacrifices you're going to need to do? What are the time? I'll give you guys an example. My goal is I want to write a book by the end of this year, like a book that I can sell on Amazon that I can write. And I'm like, I've packed my schedule and it's a great lesson for me to learn, but I'm like, I am going to need to cut back on work and really make time, because I have to be intentional and I have to create that time in my life to be able to sit down and be creative and work towards this goal, because it's something that's important to me right now. And so I know that I'm going to have to work less in the ER so that I can, take some of these days and really work on brainstorming and writing and putting in the time and effort that I want to put in. I can't expect to just do it in the craziness of my life. And I have to be intentional. So really understanding, what are you going to have to give in order to achieve what you want? Number three is going to be establishing a date. So you need to put a goal date. You need to write a date on there. And so for me, I have, I know myself, I put a couple things in motion because I know I need deadlines and I know that I need to work towards deadlines. And so, for example, I'm doing a public speaking engagement in November. So that requires me to have a topic done by then, because I have to stand on stage and deliver something. So that's a deadline for me. And so for you guys, what are the deadlines? If, for me, when I was going on my debt free, I was like, I want to be debt free by 2017. That was what I kept saying. By January 2017, I want to be debt free. I wanted to be debt free. And I kept working towards that. That was like a 15-month process, but I kept working and I looked at my goals and I said, okay, I think this is reasonable, right? You want to set smart goals. You want to set a reasonable date. But you also want to push yourself. You don't want to give too much laxity to your goals, but you want to push yourself. So making sure that you're very specific of what that date is. And then you want to start creating a plan, whether you're ready or not, you need to start taking action towards your goals, because a lot of times, guys, I don't know how some of the goals I have in my life, I'm going to achieve them. But I will tell you that if I start taking action towards them, certain people are going to come into my life. Certain things are going to unfold. I may develop more, and it may click one day as I'm kind of thinking about something, or I may come across someone and I'm talking to them, and I get a revelation or in talking to them, but I would never have come into that contact with that person if I had not already started taking action in the first place. So just start taking action, start doing things, start working towards your goal, and creating that plan and having the flexibility and being open to the flexibility and taking that imperfect action. Notice I said imperfect action, taking that imperfect action and being willing to go, to roll with the punches, right? To go with it, to fail forward and really see how this is all going to unfold, because none of us know how it's going to unfold. We don't have that exact plan, but we need to start working towards that plan. And then also realizing, and this is a big one too, is that you guys may have goals and realizing that you may not be able to do all of it all at once, right? Like you may not be able to, it's like if you got some of the goals I have, I'm like, I can't do all of it at once, and that's okay. Neither can you. So you may have a ton of different goals in your life and you're like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. I want to be, a public speaker. I want to do this. I want to do this for my children. I want to do this with my husband, whatever your goals are. But realize that you're going to have to start start setting a plan and really looking at your year in seasons, right? Which is true. We have seasons in the year, but it's the same thing with our productivity, where we have seasons where we're working on different things. Does that make sense to you guys? Like where we have seasons where we're working on things, and as a result, certain things take a back step because it's the season of working on my book. Let's say I'm going to work on my book. And so then certain things are going to have to take a step back. And then maybe I'll work on something else, and then everything and other things will take a step back. So whatever it is you're trying to achieve, realizing, okay, is, making sure that you're having the grace for yourself and knowing that you can't do everything perfectly, but just really making sure you're always looking at your priorities. Obviously, your health, your family, your spouse, those are your priorities, right? If you're a mom, your children, your family, those are your priorities. And then all of this other stuff comes after. And I'm very much aware of that, as it should, and so, because at the end of the day, we're doing all of these things for ourselves and for our families, and for other people too, depending on what our goals are. And so writing out, and then, so after you start creating your plan, right? So now we're on step 4. So the next step is writing out a clear and concise statement of what you want to achieve and really how you view yourself in that. Meaning, you want to achieve a certain thing. You want to be, like for me, I want to be, a millionaire for being me. I want to be able to influence and inspire, people, or, women all over the country, women all over the world. I am. And then, so you're going to say what your mission is, or what your vision is for yourself, for your family. And then start also in that statement, also state who you are, what type of person you are, what are the qualities you have, and state it with I am. I am confident. I am, an amazing, powerful speaker. I am an influencer. I am, loving. I am making, just the best quality time with Luke. Whatever you want to say, I am. And we're creating a statement that you can say to yourself over and over and over again. And something that you're going to look at every single morning and every single night, and allow it to drive you. Allow it. And you have to use the I am, right? Because at the end of the day, that's really who you are. And you have to, in your subconscious, and everything from I am confident, I am beautiful, I am a powerful speaker, I am a leader, I am, financially free, I'm financially independent, I am, there's so many different I ams, and it's going to be whatever is important to you. And I want this to be something that's important to you. because at the end of the day, it's your vision. It's what you want for yourself. And then after you create this statement of what is your vision and who are you, you repeat this every single day until it is ingrained in your mind, until it is ingrained. Because it's not that it needs to be, it's realizing, guys, that at the end of the day, yes, what we're cognizant of it matters, but really what matters is our subconscious mind. It's what that's that inner feeling. That's that inner feeling that makes us doubt ourselves. That's that inner feeling that stops us from taking action, that stops us from, that stops us out of fear. It's that really inner, and we need to kind of train that subconscious mind. And you do that through these types of repetitions, through the affirmations. That is how you start training that. Because one thing, that I was reading is that, and I think it's incredibly true, is that it is a fact, and I'm reading this, it is a fact that you will believe whatever you repeat to yourself, whether it is true or false. You will believe whatever you repeat to yourself. You guys are all nodding your head. Yes. So if you tell yourself, I am fat, I am fat, I am fat, guess what? You're going to think I'm fat. You tell yourself, I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed, I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed. That's all you keep telling yourself. Guess what? That's all you're bringing into your life is more anxiety, more feelings of overwhelm. And so is it true? Is it true that you are an anxious person? Is that true? And so, but it's a story that we keep telling ourselves, that you keep telling yourself. So whatever you tell yourself, you're going to believe. That is the power of our thoughts. That is the power of our thoughts. So use it to your advantage. And if you know that you're going to believe whatever you repeat, start telling yourself some amazing things about you, even before you believe it. Start telling yourself these amazing things of who you are and who you want to be, so that you really become that. If you just keep telling yourself, I have no time, I'm overwhelmed, I'm ugly, no, I have no voice, I'm not a good writer, I'm not a good speaker, my accent is bad, I'm overwhelmed, I don't have enough time, I don't have, if you just keep, these are the things you're telling yourself, so if these are the things you're telling yourself, guess what? You're going to reap what you sow. And that's good and bad. I love that saying. Oh, it's like something I live by. You reap what you sow. And that's good or bad. If you reap procrastination, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get procrastination. You're not going to get anything. If you reap hard work, if you reap action, you're going to get things from that. If you reap, negative thoughts, you're only going to get negativity. If you sow positive thoughts, you're going to reap positive thoughts. And so it's that simple concept, that comes from the Bible. You reap what you sow, that I wholeheartedly, love and believe in. So understanding, guys, the power of your thoughts, and understanding that whatever you tell yourself, good or bad, it's what you're going to believe. And so understanding that, and also one thing I want you guys to think about, and I think this is incredibly powerful, is that who we are right now today, and I want you guys to think about this, who you are today, we are each the dominating thoughts that we permit to occupy our minds. I'm going to repeat that again. We are each, how we look at ourselves, who we are each the dominating thoughts that run through our mind that we permit, to occupy our minds. So I want you guys to think about that, and also think about how far you've come. A lot of you have come a long way, and celebrating that. But these little principles, these concepts, these are concepts you're going to now be teaching to other people as well, as you're learning them, realizing, wow, there's truth in that, because look at how much I've had to grow. Look at how much I've done. Look at how much work I've done on myself, and realizing that that's the gift you have to give to other people, because you see everybody around you who wants success. You see everybody around you who says that they want to have certain things and they want to have a certain lifestyle. But, now you guys are wiser. you guys know more. You guys believe, whether you believe it or not, you do know more about having success because you've been exposed to different principles. You've been exposed to different people. You've been reading your personal development, and you can look at other people and say, they're not going to be successful doing that, you know, or thinking like that, or saying that, or allowing all of these other, or being so negative. Like they're not gonna have success. So just really think about what you guys are telling yourself and what your dominating thoughts are. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to have days where we're like a little down, but I will tell you that those days become less when you're more conscious. Like when you realize, and those of you who have seen Tony Robbins, he talks about that. Like you can change your state, you know, you could change your state, you could change your mind in a second. You know, you change it in a second, and it has I get chills even just thinking about it with the state. You can change it in a second, and it has everything to do with, you know, moving your body, and it has everything to do with, you know, just getting some motion, changing your physiology, you know, just changing the pattern. So anyway, okay. So next thing I wanted you guys to kind of talk to, so understand that all who have acquired success, that everyone who has acquired success, in whatever they're trying to achieve, that there was a certain amount of dreaming that had to happen. There was a certain amount of hoping. There was a certain amount of wishing. There was a certain amount of desiring, and there was a certain amount of planning before they achieved anything. You know, I want you guys to think about, like, I think athletes are the best example, right? Like athletes are the best example of like what it really takes to like have success. You look at these like superstars in basketball, or like these ballerinas in these top productions, and you know, these are people who have been dreaming about this, right? They've been dreaming about this probably since they were a young child, or like at least as a teenager, right? And think of how many hours they have been working on their craft, right? How many hours and hours and hours they have been working on their craft. And that's incredible. And so, you know, just realizing, guys, that visualization, you know, when they first started, they were visualizing where they wanted to be, that they wanted to be in the court, they wanted to be on stage, you know, that you want to be financially independent, that you want to have time, you know, to be with your family, whatever you're visualizing, it starts first with that vision. And if you're not willing to have the faith to dream big and to visualize big, you're selling yourself short. You know what I mean? Like you're really not allowing yourself, you know, to really see your full potential. And so next thing I want to talk about that kind of ties along with vision is really thinking about what your mission is, of what you're trying to accomplish. You know, your mission is your major purpose, right? It's your purpose, and it ties along with vision. And so 4 questions I want you to think about is, you know, in terms of your mission, in terms of your brand, in terms of what you're building, what your business, you know, for your business, you know, number 1, what do you do? You know, number 2, how do you do it? Number 3, who do you do it for? And then number 4, what value are you bringing to the world? And so those are 4 questions you can ask yourself to kind of come up with your mission statement, your purpose, a statement around your purpose. And so for me, I had one before that was like healthier use projects. You know, our mission is to help you create a healthier foundation so that regardless of what life throws your way, you will stay true to the activities that will keep your mind, body, and soul healthy. We strive to be inspirations to our local communities and to our close social networks by offering private fun groups where we can all share our healthy lifestyle, right? So that's what we do as a mission. That's what the mission of this team is, you know, at least that I envision. You know, I have to now create a mission for what I want, you know, myself to be. Same thing for you, what you want your business to be. But what your personal life mission is, of why you're working so hard. Because we all need, we all need to be reminded and kind of have some organizational thought around, you know, why are we doing what we're doing? And so that's that. So again, talking about your vision, talking about your mission statement. And then the last things I wanted to just kind of say was that, just to kind of conclude and kind of tie this all together, imagine yourself successful. Okay. And I know, and this is, I think, and just really practice and really that visualization, visualize yourself exactly how you want to be, exactly doing what you want to do, you know, and really take the time and every single day, you know, to take some time, whether it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and really close your eyes and pick something in your life that you want to achieve and really envision yourself achieving it already. Really, you know, try that practice, because I'm telling you, like, every person that I talk to who's like super uber successful, this is what they do. A lot of them do this. And so there's so much power. There's so much power to our thoughts, guys. And I really want you to understand that there's so much power. So imagine yourself successful, close your eyes and concentrate on your desires and your goals every single day, and see yourself in that environment. See yourself already confident, already successful. See yourself in that way. The second thing I want to tell you guys is reflect on your past successes. Every success, big or small, is proof. It's proof, guys, that you can have success. We tend to just like go through life and we don't celebrate enough. You know, that's one thing I've learned and I've talked about through some of the Tony Robbins workshop I was at recently. And he just said, like, we do not celebrate ourselves enough. You know, and we, you know, we're always striving for this next best thing, when, you know, even just, you know, being grateful and having and being proud of what we've already what we've already achieved, and really celebrating that, and celebrating every single goal, and really thinking back, you know, what have I done so far in my life? You know, some of you are amazing parents. That's a success, you know, like we tend to really, you know, we just really don't, you know, what do I want to say? Celebrate ourselves enough. That's basically what I want to say. And then set definite goals and be aware, you know, just be aware of what your goals are. And then also know when you're deviating from them, right? Have that mindset and say, okay, I can see that I'm going back into my old ways. I can see that I'm off track. Now, no one's going to put me back on track but myself, right? Don't be waiting for someone to come along and say, hello, you know, where are you in your goals? No, that's your responsibility. But no, you know, have the insight to recognize, this is what I start doing when I'm going to go off track. I say, okay, I'm going to miss this workout, or I'm going to just eat this one special treat, and then I'm going to go off, you know. So just recognize, because we all do it, right? Just recognize and have the honesty with yourself and the insight, and say, okay, I'm not going to get off track. I'm not going to get way off track on this again like I did last time. And so just know when you're getting off track. And then the last thing I wanted to say is to respond positively to life, right? And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, because you guys are all super positive and super amazing. But I'm kind of letting you know, because out there in the world, there's a lot of people out there that are not very positive, right? There's a lot of people out there, even people we know in our own social circles, in our family, that are just not, they're like sucking, they suck life, you know, and they're just negative energy. And so for you, respond positively to life, develop a positive self-image, you know, really think about your image, think about your reactions to life, you know, like you guys, I want you guys to really look at your toolbox, because you guys have an amazing toolbox in just the personal development you've been doing. And really taking that and sharing that with other people in a way where they, you know, you're not telling them what to do, but you're just trying to share insight with them, and where people look to you and they're just like, wow, like, she's so amazing. Like, she's just so calm all the time, and she doesn't let life bother her. And I don't know how she does it. She does, you know, I don't know how she does it all. And a lot of it, you know, I've always said I'm a very positive person. I've always been that way. I'm a very optimistic person. I don't if people are talking negatively, I'm just like, I don't have time to worry about that. I don't have time to think about that, you know? And so really realizing that's your power. That really is your power. You know, if you can really take on that image of just living that positive life and really genuinely be that way. Because I will tell you that there's a lot of people, and especially right now, and this is what I've been hearing in all of my different personal development events, whether I went to Gabby Bernstein or Tony Robbins, or everyone keeps saying, and even now as I kind of think about it, I get chills. Everybody is just saying how there is a need right now, guys, for leaders, for good leaders in our communities, right? I think you guys would agree with that. there is a need for positivity. There is a need for community within our communities. We can't leave it, and I'm not trying to get political, but we can't leave it to the higher ups. You know, we can't say it's going to come from the top down. It's not. It's going to come from the bottom up, right? And so you guys, like me, we're at the bottom. You know, we're in the grassroots. We're in the community. And so I want you guys to realize that, and to really think about that, and to think about what that means, and how are you, and just that need. And if you're going to answer the call is what I'm trying to say, that there's a need for good leadership. There's a need for good people that are being positive, that are being that light. I really think of us as light workers. I really, really do. And it starts with that vision of, do you see yourself in that way? If you don't, that's fine. I'm not here to judge. But I'm just saying, if you do want to make that impact, realize that there's so much potential for impact there. And it starts with that vision of, how do you see the community? How do you see the world? And so I'm now taking it very broadly right now, but that's really my hope and my mission for what I do with the team, right? That's really my vision for our team as a whole, is really combating depression, combating obesity, combating anxiety. That is why I do this. It's truly a passion project for me. And it's because we need more people out there to be that light for other people. And that's why I do this. And that's the vision that I have, where we're all going out there and we're all making an impact, and we're helping people one at a time live happier and more fulfilling lives. That really, really is my goal. Heavenly likes what you're saying. She's randomly giving you thumbs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I want to leave you guys with this from this book. And if you guys haven't read this book, it's so good. Think and Grow Rich. Such a good book. If you guys haven't read this, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't read this, this book is this is another one of those things where every successful person every single person has read this book 10 times. I'm okay, so I guess I better read this book 10 times if I want this to be my my Bible. So reading this, I've got some of this from here, but I want to read this and I like this version because it's updated. This book was written many years. It's updated to today's times. And so it's just it just says updated for the 21st century, but it has over 15 million copies sold worldwide. Every successful person I know has read this book, and the language is some of the language, you'll be able to understand it. It's definitely older language. Like, for example, affirmations, they call auto suggestions. So it was written a long time ago. So it wasn't written in today's time. So they didn't have affirmations then. It was called auto suggestions then. Oh, you're very welcome, Shondell. So I just want to read this because I thought this was really great. So it says, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think that you can't win, it's almost certain you won't win. If you think you'll lose, then you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You got to think high to rise. You got to be sure of yourself. You can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or the faster man, but soon or late, the one who wins is the one who thinks he can. So I really like that. You have to, honestly, guys, it makes me get all emotional. You have to believe that you can. Because at the end of the day, what stops us from taking action is that we believe that we cannot. And I've seen people who are having a ton of success, doing amazing things, and they're not any better than us, but they believe in themselves, even if they're not entirely right sometimes, but they believe in themselves and they take action and they are confident. I mean, look at Trump becoming president, right? It's like they believe in themselves, super confident, and they take action and they are out there And that is, you know, and it happens. And I share this with you guys because realizing that we all have to be constantly working on our self-belief, because, and it's true. And it's like, and it never, there's not that it never goes away, but it's just something we have to be conscious of, you know, because you know, a lot of the things that limit us, they're thoughts that we've been telling ourselves for years, right? It's the reason why we haven't had the success that we want yet. It's because we've been carrying around these little stories in our mind of why we can't do something, of why we're not worthy, of why we're not intelligent enough, of why we don't have anything to offer. I mean, these are the things I've been telling myself for a long time, you know, and I've had to work through those things through these personal development events of believing that I have something to offer. And I always sit back and I'm like, God, if I think these things, I can't even imagine someone else who hasn't seen some of the success that I've had, and you know, where they stand. And that's why I'm always pushing personal development, because I know that we're all walking around with some sort of limiting belief of something that's stopping us. It's the reason why we don't see the success that we want. So, but yeah, so get this book, because this book is gold. It's like a success Bible. And it's really good. It's short. It's not that long. But, and really just really ask yourself, you know, how much do you believe in yourself, and how much are you visualizing, and just really having that honest conversation with yourself. And it's okay if you say, you know what, I guess I really didn't, or I didn't, and I'm better now, but I still have more to work on, you know. And I think that's all of us. But just really having those honest conversations with ourselves, because we're not going to be able to get to the next level if in the back of our mind and our subconscious, we're not visualizing where we want to go, and we're having like true negative talk in the back of our mind. And so really, you know, holding on to that confidence and really working and pushing to reach the goals that you want to achieve. And this is for anything, right? This is not for just Beachbody. This is for your life. This is for work. This is for your career. This is for, you know, parenthood. This is for even in your relationships, guys, like for your relationships, to improve your relationships, to have even more passionate and fulfilling relationships, right? Like that starts, look at Courtney's like, woo, woo. That starts with the desire for it. And that starts with the visualization for it. That starts with the gratitude every single day of, you know, and just really visualizing how you want your life to look like with your spouse, with your partner. And so it starts there. So it's not just for business. It's for all aspects of your life. It's for your religious life, or your spiritual life. It's for your parenting. And it's that confidence too, because the confidence affects our relationships, our intimate relationships. It affects our, you know, the way we, you know, look at our kids. And so just realize that, because especially those of you who have children, your children are watching you, right? And your children are mimicking your actions. And so they're mimicking you. They're going to do what you do more than what you say. And so just really think about what I always look at Sophie, because Sophie's such a great example of like someone who has been such a great example to her daughter, and how her daughter's doing all these like affirmations and things with her. And I think that's beautiful. And just really realize, especially if you're a parent, I'm not a parent, but I know many of you are. And so knowing that you guys are really bringing up that next generation, and you want that confidence to be ingrained in them, and you want that insight of being able to visualize what they want in life and working towards that, and really those affirmations of I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, because I don't know if you can leave it up to today's times out there. Out there is a little scary, a little ugly. But anyway, I found the book on the app Hoopla for free. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah. All right, guys, any questions? Any questions? Oh, you guys are so sweet. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All righty. Well, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your week, and bye. Look at oh my goodness. Irene, look at that red hair.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That hair is red.
Yes, it is. All right, say goodnight. Can you say mwah? You want to say mwah?
Oh, so cute. So precious. All right, guys.